Hey everybody, it's me, Hedy, and boy oh boy, you're going to love this recipe. You can do so many different things with it. I'm showing you how I made it this time around, but as we go along, I'll show you different things I do. So let's go. Obviously, I'm starting with my onions. You chop them how you want to. I guess you could use onion powder or something like that, but I strongly suggest just use a fresh onion, saute it. Next, I purposely took the onions up, so now that grease that's left in this, I'm doing my cast iron skillet. If you don't have a cast iron skillet, please do one. Look at this crust on here. I had a small 1 pound roast. I had it in the freezer. I needed to use it. And I usually make this dish with leftover roast beef. Well, as y'all know, with the prices and everything, I hadn't been having a lot of extra roast beef, so I had this in there, and I thought, wow, this would be so good. So I'm just browning it. Look, I've shown y'all this before. Always sear your meat. It really does add to the flavor of that, and you can also it adds to the flavor is what I was saying. Also, don't forget to salt and pepper your meat. Alright, this is not an Instant Pot recipe, FYI. I just had other things to do. I'm simply showing you how I did this roast. Anyway, I use 1 pound of ground beef, just as much, and sometimes chicken. Okay, moving on to the potatoes. You can bake them. You can parboil them till they're almost done, not quite. I did mine in an Instant Pot. They're cooling right now. This is not an Instant Pot video. I'm just sharing how I did mine this time. And I go in, and obviously I usually peel mine first, but I'm just showing y'all. I cut them long ways, and then I cut the potato in half, so that way I have wedges, which is what I'm going for here. I didn't complete this. I'm going to show you, and I just pull them apart like that and then cut them in half, but I usually peel them first, in all honesty, and any bad spots I just cut them out like that. Alright, now I want to show you. You see I've got extra grease in the pan. More than I normally would for sauteing, okay? There's a reason for that, and you'll find out why. So it seems like I'm using a lot of grease, but there's a reason for that. And remember, I'm going to drain these anyway. I'm going to save the grease, but I'm going to drain these so they're not going to be all greasy. And in all honesty as well, I usually just add the bell peppers to the onions after they've cooked for a couple of minutes. But I don't remember at the moment. I do know I had 2 or 3 different things going on at one time, and I had to do it this way. But normally, these bell peppers and onions would have already been done all together. And again, yes, there's extra grease, but there's a reason for that. You see how it's dripping underneath the spoon? I'm going to actually pick all this up, put it in a colander, let it drain for a little bit, 5 or 10 minutes, and then add back in. I am showing you my roast was done, even though I did it in the Instant Pot, and then I let it cool, and I just diced it up. Again, I usually just have shredded leftover roast beef. This is also the beef broth that I had left over with the garlic in it. You saw me put the garlic in it. I fished the garlic out separate because I'm going to add it back into the bell peppers and onions. But anyway, I saved that beef broth. It's all flavored. I'm just showing you where I cleaned the potatoes. So they're all ready to roll. So now, I'm telling you, I'm going to take them up. There's that grease, see? I drained it for a minute, put all the grease back into the skillet. I've got it nice and hot, and I'm being nice in the beginning. Normally, I just dump them in there. And you definitely, depending on, you only need potatoes enough that would feed the whole family. So that's what I did. I normally, if you've got a smaller family, you don't even need this much. This is one of those kind of recipes, guys. I'm not going to tell you exactly 1 cup of this, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be as many potatoes as you need. The only guide I'm going to give you is, in my family, and your taste might be different. You might want 1 bell pepper and 1 onion. You might want a half onion and half bell pepper. Now, if you want it flavorful, you're going to go with 1 onion. I'm not saying a great big large one, just a medium onion, and also 2 bell peppers. And yes, I'm going to say it again. Nowadays, and we all know why, produce sucks. So I actually had probably 2.5 worth of normal bell peppers in this dish. And I'm just frying this, guys. I'm talking to y'all right now, but I am just frying this. It's going to take it a minute to get going. There's one potato. I cut it up, but it didn't fall apart. And that's, again, is why that extra grease was there, because we are going to semi-fry these. Remember, these potatoes are actually done. We're just trying to get, like, some crispness to some, crispness, if I can speak, to some, okay, here we go, to some of the edges. Not all of it. But you see that beautiful crust? That's not Hey Hedy seasoning. That's nothing. That is just from that flavorful onion bell pepper grease. Then I'm adding everything back. And these potatoes are done. You don't want to just go in and, you're not going to go in and stir. Unless you want basically mashed potato dish. I'm showing you. I kind of just make sure everything's in. I'm folding. See? Go in from the outside, up through the middle, flip. Flip. Just like if some of you bake, you know about batters, sometimes you've got to fold. And in cooking as well, there's times you want to fold. That way to keep the size of the potatoes, some of them are going to fall apart, like say the smaller potatoes, but it's a wonderful mix of textures and everything. Now we're ready. Remember, everything's basically cooked already at this point. You're just going to bring all the flavors together. And again, I'm going to spread that beef over the top and then go in. And again, this could be shredded chicken. This could be, you could take a rotisserie chicken and do it. You could take, like I said, browned hamburger meat and do it. It's all good. And I'm just showing you. And I'm not even finished yet. All the rest of this will be optional. Well, I think I'm going to show you myself putting in some of the beef broth. And there's a reason for that. So you really, number one, you don't want to waste that flavor. Number two, you're going to simmer it all the way down till it's reduced to almost not there. And this is so good. This is a perfect one bowl meal. We like it year round, but it's definitely an excellent wintertime meal. And now, let's say I'm stirring this. I'm just giving it a good stir. And you can see, now I'm doing mine in an iron skillet. And if you don't have an iron skillet, cast iron, if you don't get anything else in your kitchen and you're on a budget, you got to get your cast iron skillet. And so I cooked all that first part down. And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I believe, yeah, I went in and added the rest of that. Because remember, that was all wonderful and garlic flavored. And it cooked way down. That skillet is very hot. That's why, another reason, I'm just keeping things moving. Altogether, this really doesn't, you could even bake your potatoes the day before and stick them in the fridge. This could be so easy to throw together on a school night during the week. I mean, it couldn't be easier. I've taught y'all every trick in the book, how to have your onions already done. If you've got your onions already done, you've got your bell peppers already done and in the freezer waiting for you, this is a fast meal. It really is a fast meal. Alright, now, here comes the optional ingredient. Yes, a can of whole kernel corn. If you're going to use frozen, I suggest you just cook it according to the instructions on the bag before adding. This is just one regular can's worth, medium can. My temp butter was room temp, but I'm throwing in, and this is also optional. It definitely adds to it, but I've got 2 tablespoons of butter. Now, I'm just throwing a lid on just for a moment, just to kind of steam that butter and get it melted. Now, here it is. That added a little more moisture, putting the lid on. And now, I'm simply going to let this go. And now is where I'm coming in with salt and pepper. It looks like I'm adding a lot of salt. This is some of my salt crystals, so it looks like a lot. It's not. If you're using table salt, it's basically salt and pepper to your taste. Okay, and there's pepper. And of course, I'm going to add some Hey Hedy. You can go in with Cajun if you wanted to. You can go in with Hey Hedy House seasoning. I'll put links to those videos. You don't have to add anything. But if you wanted to just take it up another notch, just go in. You could even, I've even used some of my taco seasoning. It's excellent. So those are all just whatever flavor you're going for. But just for a good weeknight, the Hey Hedy is perfect. Keep it generic for the kiddos. You can always add some to your plate. Anyway, look, I'm letting this simmer. See, that liquid's already going away. I want to show you. I'm trying to show you. See how that's what I'm showing you right now. Perfect. It couldn't be more perfect. So I just give it one more gentle stir, mainly folding. And that nice hot skillet is cooking away that broth, but the flavor is left behind. Again, the corn is optional. You could throw in carrots if you wanted to, I guess. So here it is. I let it sit for a minute. I let it rest. Still piping hot, as you can see. Of course, the fire's been out for at least 5 minutes here, but it's still just piping hot. And y'all, I'm telling you, I strongly suggest you want to make this. It is that good. I mean, if you wanted to, if you were going to go southwestern flavor with it, you could definitely go in with your taco seasoning, whatever your fave is, and then you could also throw in some cheese and jalapeno peppers if you wanted to. But anyway, I'm going to make you a plate. Look at that. Ooh, yes. So anyway, y'all, that's it. That is very filling, good, economical. You can make it how you like it. Tweak it the way you want it. And I love y'all, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.